Melio Sakar, Superior Sword Glyph. So that's the best sword glyph in the game. That didn't take too long to get. And it's a pretty good weapon to use, you know? I prefer the lance, but, you know, it's pretty good. So there it is. And here we have the Mad Snatcher, who's of no consequence. He's pretty much weak to just about everything, drops nothing, easy to deal with, so he's just kind of there. Let me get an emerald. Whatever, man. So yeah, the sword glyph is good, but you know me, I prefer the lance, so I'm going to put that back on. And Mad Snatcher, parasite that clings to, then continually drains its victims. 200 experience. There's really nothing special about the guy. Nothing special to speak of whatsoever, but he's just kind of there. So we can take this guy down again. Yeah, getting that glyph didn't take too long, maybe, I don't know, like 4 minutes. If even that. Alright, so let's head back, shall we? Because that's pretty much all we had to do there. Now there is a boss coming up, and it's a pretty awesome boss in my opinion. It's really not that hard. Did you just hit me twice? Oh my gosh, I have 5 HP. That's ridiculous, but we get Melio Kutler, a triple knife glyph. Best knife glyph. Again, it's not really that powerful, but it's long range, so if you want to use it, go right ahead. You throw three knives this time around. So that's kind of cool, right? And we get a rebuild, who's just a palette swap of the, you know, gargantuan enemy that we encountered before. He's really not that hard. He likes to punch you and do like a knee attack, but otherwise he's not a big deal. Assembled from the corpses of many renowned warriors. 400 experience, 666 HP. Coincidence? I think not. But yeah, I only have 5 HP, so obviously one hit until I'm dead. But I'm not worried at all. I'm not gonna get hit. I mean, who gets hit in a Castlevania game? It's just ridiculous. Can't get boss medals that way, you know. So here we got the Giant Knight. He has a glyph drop, so we're gonna have to farm for that. Lightning works very well on him, so dual Fulgur glyphs work well. And obviously the luck. His attacks are pretty easy to avoid though, so I'm not concerned with taking any damage from him. In fact, I don't think I ever have, but, you know, I suppose it's possible. There we go. Oh my gosh, what? First shot? Wow. Melio Asia, Superior Axe Glyph, which we will be using for the next boss, because it's quite powerful, and the way the boss is, you definitely need to have an attack that goes up in the air like that. Look at that. So yeah. And another glyph. Melio Falsus, Superior Sickle Glyph, and here's a new enemy. The King Skeleton, who's much like a previous enemy. He's large, but his attacks are pretty easy to avoid, and it's pretty easy to kill him before he even does anything. He's kind of dumb, so yeah. Alright, Great Knight, one of Castlevania's many elite armored guardians. I don't know how we got a 5-star glyph on the first shot, but whatever, I'll take it. A skeleton armed with a huge battle axe. Yeah, they have some good equipment you can drop, but I'm not too worried about it. Off the clock I may go back for it, but you know, it's not too big of a deal. Guess we can try that sickle, which is pretty cool. But you may be noticing we're getting a lot of weapon glyphs all of a sudden. Well, this is the arms depot, so it kind of makes sense that we would be getting them, right? So that sickle is pretty powerful. Not a bad weapon to use, but this guy's really annoying because he's in positions where we can't really hit him. And you know, I kind of don't want to get hit, so I don't really want to get close to him. Come on, hit him. There you go. Okay. So yeah, if he manages to get on that stairway, it's pretty annoying. I mean, that's just the way it is. Same with this guy. Maybe better to just skip them all together because it's just like, ugh. Especially this guy because he's going to keep moving left and right. And there we go. Got him. And we got a warp point. I think we'll definitely head back to a save point. There is a save point coming up, but... You know. Let's just go to... Okay, I don't want to fight an enemy. There shouldn't be an enemy on this one, I don't think. Okay. Alrighty then. There we go. And we can head back and take on the next boss. Oh. Okay, so for this boss we want to use dual Melioasias and the attack glyph. And for equipment you want to put on any piece of equipment that raises your strength. Defense does not matter since we're obviously not going to take a hit. And you want the ring that raises your MP restoration, right? And the strength ring. So this is Eligor. He is much larger than he is in FF7, isn't he? So he kind of hits you at the beginning automatically, but that doesn't damage you. It doesn't count. So the first thing you want to do is take out the orbs in his knees and the crossbows. Because he fires arrows at you. But once you destroy them, he can't use them anymore, so it's definitely cool. So every time you take out the orbs, it'll go automatically into the next phase of the fight. But like all of his attacks are telegraphed, so they're extremely easy to avoid. Especially if you know what you're doing. Even if you don't, just kind of do some practice and you'll be okay, I promise. There we go. So now you want to get under him and destroy the crossbows as quick as you can, because you don't want him to have any crossbows when you get behind him, or that's just going to be another attack you're going to want to avoid. So here you just kind of want to stay between his legs. Heh, kinky. And watch out, because he will do a back kick, and you want to crouch when he puts his leg up to do that. But it's pretty obvious when he's going to do any attack, so it's pretty easy to avoid all of his attacks. That's why I think this medal is actually pretty easy to get. And then you want to get behind him. Finish off the crossbow and then take out the orbs in his back legs. Here, he'll either rear kick you or he'll try to thrust you with his tail, like a spear. It'll kind of track you and then stop, and then you just want to get out of the way. Pretty easy to avoid. This boss is not hard by any means. I mean, he looks pretty intimidating with how huge he is, but he's not bad at all. We've dealt with much more difficult, trust me. And once we destroy this orb, it'll activate the final phase. Which you want to take care of quickly, or else he'll end up reviving his orbs, and that's kind of annoying. So here you want to hit his eyeball in the back of his head, and do your Union Glyph, which does a buttload of damage. Because if you don't kill him fast enough, he'll start reviving his orbs and such. And we don't want that. But we should be fine here. We got plenty of hearts to speak of. Got him! You see how easy that is? I made it look easy, didn't I? Well, kind of is easy. Especially if you do a little practice. And what the hell? Got the Eligor medal, now I'm being pushed around. Not that it matters. You can hit me all you want. I already got my medal. Okay then, so there you go. That's Eligor. It's a pretty fun boss, really. It just takes some practice to get down all his telegraphs and such. Eligor! Looks like there's only 2 bosses left. A giant demon knight summoned to protect the castle. 4,300 experience, 3,000 HP. There you go. Alrighty then. So let's go back and save. Bum, 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 bum. We could take care of you, like whatever, doesn't really matter. You're just a jerk. Okay. Woo! Alrighty then, so I guess we should look at the medal, right? Medal awarded for defeating the demon horse rider Eligor. So we're not done here yet, by the way. Let's go ahead and put our equipment back on. Because we actually got to go past the boss room and get a glyph. But this glyph is kind of pointless now. But, you know, it's one of those important glyphs, story glyph, plot glyph, whatever you want to call it. But hey, we get to use him as a bridge to get to this room. And we get Armo Custos, grants the mighty power of Cerberus, which I don't think really does anything now. This glyph resonates just like the other one. There must be a third. Yep, we need a third so that all of these can kind of come together. Because they're not really... they don't really do a whole lot right now by themselves. So now we want to head back to the mechanical tower so that we can move on. Because, yeah, there is another boss coming up pretty quickly, too. And it's an infamous boss because he just happens to be in every Castlevania game, so you can probably guess who it is. And no, it's not Dracula. But, yeah, we want to get to that warp point and head back to the mechanical tower. Because there was another path that we didn't take. If you remember, where we were climbing those pillars, there was a path to the left and to the right, and we took the right path to get here. So, we want to take the left path this time. Levelage! Kind of interesting that we didn't level up in the boss fight. Yeah, right. Yeah, I probably am going to farm for these guys off the clock to get their equipment, maybe. I don't really need to, but I could. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. I don't know. I believe I missed an item somewhere around here. I don't remember where it is, but I'll probably get it off the clock. It's nothing important, it's just a food item that's in like a ledge or something that you have to bust open. I just don't recall where it is, and I'm not gonna go searching for it right now, but I'll probably get it off the clock and mention it. Whatever. You know how I do. Alright, back to this area. Back to the barracks, but we want to head back to the mechanical tower. I love when you kill the guys, they just go flying in the opposite direction, crashing into the wall. You gotta appreciate those little details. You know. Like I mentioned before, this game is it's so great with the little details. I absolutely love it. Alright, Lizard Man, but yeah, we don't really need to petrify you. I mean, it's not really necessary. Especially if we got the Nitrius and the lance and such. It's not really necessary. What the hell? Dude, I wasn't even looking at the door. Like, how did I go through it? You can't back through a door. We're not Cosmo Kramer. What the hell, man? It's crazy. Alright. So, let's head back up and to the right. This guy's still doing the pee-pee dance, so we're just gonna kill him because, you know, the pee-pee dance is not allowed. As entertaining as it is, and it is quite entertaining, I just don't have time for it right now. We gotta get back up here. Now coming up, we're gonna be seeing more of those, you know, magnets and, you know, spikes all over and such. So be very careful, because like any Castlevania player knows, spikes hurt a lot, and you do not want to get hit by them. Period. Because if you do, there's a pretty good chance you'll end up dying, and, you know, as most gamers know, dying is not typically a good thing. So, you know, you can't save the world when you're dead, unless you're playing Breath of Death 7. But yeah. Yes, this is a Let's Play, we know. So now we're kind of in the depths of the mechanical tower. So that's fun. Yes, we finally see Medusa heads. I know you guys have probably been thinking, where the hell are the Medusa heads? Well, They're right here. And unlike the previous game, there was actually a third color. Yeah, right there. It's considered a Gorgon head. And it actually has a glyph drop that dropped on the first try because it's only a 1-star drop. And I can't get it because of this jerk. Thank you, Fidelis Medusa. Summon Medusa heads in a strangely familiar pattern. Which that ability is only really useful for when Medusa heads are around. Otherwise, it's not really that useful. But the Gorgon head also has an item drop, if you can believe that. Because, you know, the Medusa heads never drop anything, but in this game, the Gorgon heads do. I don't remember what they drop, other than the glyph, but it's something. I don't know if it's an item, equipment, food, I don't recall, but I don't think it's very important. So, if I end up getting it, cool, otherwise I don't really care too much. Medusa's severed head spawned multitudes of these pests. Gorgon head, created from the head of Medusa, turns its victims to stone. Yeah, the item it drops, it's a 4-star drop, so you're probably not going to end up getting it unless you really go out of your way to do so. And I don't know if I'm going to do that. Probably not, because we don't really need it, but yeah. Where is it at? I don't see it. There it is, okay. Woo! Look at that. They kind of circle around you. So when there's Medusa heads flying all over the place, there's a good chance that they're gonna hit them, which is cool. So, yeah. Alrighty then. So here we got to use the magnets to get around here. And there are spikes, so be very careful. There's an important chest up here with the Valkyrie mask, which will complete our Valkyrie equipment setup. This mask was blessed by a war maiden. Brings up defense and strength, takes like the magic stuff down, but I'm gonna put it on just to complete the set. You know, plus more strength and magic is a good thing. It's a good thing where I come from. So yeah. Alright. So here we want to go up first. We'll come back for the down path later, but going up is where we need to go. Because that's where the next boss is, and some other stuff. And, you know, such. And things. How many times are you going to drop that? I wish the item you had dropped that often. There's a chest up there, but it's pretty dangerous to get to. Oh, crap. Yeah, this room's very dangerous, because there's spikes all over, and bust that open and HP max up. Fixes our low HP problem. Yeah, you don't want to end up springing yourself into spikes. I can't believe I did that. That was lame. And we get Heart Crest, which I think it. What does this do? When taking damage, you lose hearts instead of HP. That's interesting. So if you're low on HP, you could put that on so that you lose hearts instead of your HP. That's a thought. So up here we want to head to the right first, because that'll lead to a chest. A very interesting chest, actually. Which you may or may not want to use. And you'll see why when we get it. Freaking, don't petrify me! And you weren't even a freaking Gorgon head. Come on, man. Be cool. Yeah, more often than not, they're gonna drop their cliff, because it's a 1-star drop, so, I mean, come on. Come on! What are you doing? What the? Don't do that. Eh. So, I like to call this the bugbear room. We're just hanging out all over here, and here we have Death Ring. And I'll tell you why you may or may not want to use this. If you look at it, it gives you tremendous stat upgrades, but it makes it so you may die in one hit. So the question is, are you feeling lucky? That's the thing. The only thing I would really use it for are boss fights, because, you know, I don't get hit in boss fights, so yeah. Otherwise, I would not use it, you know, because you could die in one hit, so you don't want to even test fate. But if you're feeling lucky, go for it. Knock yourself out. Good luck. Okay. So now we want to head to the left, because this is where the boss is. You know, after some exhibition and such. This is kind of dangerous, but yeah. Okay, good. Got through that. Alright. That wasn't too bad. I think the next room is even more dangerous. Or not this room, but a room coming up. He punched me! And then tried to knee me. Like, who does that? Who just punches someone? I mean, God. Oh yeah, see, this is the part that sucks, but there's a warp room there. Up here's the save point, but you gotta get through some spikes, and oh my... I can't believe I did that. Oh boy, there's a boss door and a save point. So we got a boss, so this should be pretty fun, actually.